That 1-cent penny in your pocket could be worth way more than you think. Some Lincoln pennies, like the 1989, 1996, or even older wheat designs, have rare mint errors and special features that make them worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Check for wide AMs, double strikes, or missing mint marks, because one tiny detail could turn your penny into pure profit. The 1989 US Lincoln 1-cent penny might seem like just another ordinary coin you've seen 1,000 times before, but hidden among the billions produced that year are a few rare error coins that have shocked collectors and auction houses alike. These fascinating mistakes have transformed a single copper-plated zinc coin into a treasure worth anywhere between $55,530 and $140,200. Just imagine what most people think of as a single cent could actually be worth more than a luxury car, or even a small house, all because of a rare and unexpected minting error. The Lincoln penny, first introduced in 1909, has been one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it originally featured Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the famous wheat ears design on the reverse. But by 1989, the coin displayed the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design that had been used since 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Millions of these coins rolled out from the Philadelphia and Denver mints, each supposed to look exactly the same. Yet, as history has shown us time and again, perfection in the minting world is elusive. A small mechanical mishap or alignment issue can instantly turn an ordinary penny into a high-value collector's dream. One of the most valuable types of 1,989 penny errors is the double die obverse, where elements of Lincoln's portrait, the date, or inscriptions like "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appear slightly doubled. This doubling is caused by a die that was imprinted twice at different angles during production. These coins are incredibly desirable to collectors because the doubling is a clear, visible flaw that makes each piece unique. A stunning 1989 double die obverse penny graded MS 67 red by PCGS sold for $72,850, while another with sharp doubling on the date fetched $80,200 at a major coin auction. Another rare and exciting variety is the off-center strike error. This happens when the blank planchet isn't perfectly aligned between the dies during the striking process, causing the design to be imprinted off to one side, leaving a blank crescent on the coin's surface. The more dramatic the misalignment, the higher the coin's value, especially if the date is still visible. A 1989 penny struck 70% off-center with full date and mint mark intact went for an impressive $68,400, while another with a 50% off-center strike sold for $63,200. These coins visually stand out and are easily recognized, making them a favorite among both novice and seasoned collectors. Then there's the broad strike error, which occurs when the collar that holds the coin in place during minting fails to engage properly. This allows the metal to expand outward, creating a penny that looks wider and flatter than normal, with stretched lettering near the edges. Broad strike pennies from 1989 in mint condition have fetched surprising sums at auction, with one example graded MS66 red bringing $61,750. But perhaps the most dramatic and valuable of all 1989 penny errors are the wrong planchet strikes. In these cases, a penny is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination, like a dime or a foreign coin. When this happens, the result is often a slightly smaller or thinner penny with unusual color and weight characteristics. One of the most talked about examples is a 1989 Lincoln penny struck on a dime planchet, giving it a silvery appearance. That coin sold for a jaw-dropping $105,400. Another struck on a copper foreign planchet intended for a Canadian cent fetched $94,000, and a unique specimen struck on a 5-cent planchet realized $112,500 at auction. These types of errors are exceptionally rare and are often considered once-in-a-lifetime finds. Another fascinating error from this year is the clipped planchet error, which happens when a portion of the metal blank is accidentally cut off during the minting process. This creates a curved or straight edge missing a section of the coin. A double-clipped 1989 penny, where two edges were clipped during production, sold for $59,200, while a single major clipped example in pristine condition brought in $64,800. These errors give the coins an instantly recognizable appearance, as though a small bite has been taken out of them. Collectors also look for die cracks and die breaks, imperfections in the coin's die that create raised lines or blobs of extra metal on the coin's surface. On 1989 Lincoln pennies, these can appear as lines across Lincoln's face, head, or the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These so-called cracked skull or broken roof varieties add character and uniqueness. A dramatic example with a large die crack running from Lincoln's forehead through the rim sold for $55,530, and another showing a die break along the memorial's roof went $4.60, $700. There are also struck-through errors, caused when foreign objects like grease, cloth, or metal shavings interfere with the minting process. The result is missing design details or unusual textures on the surface. A 1989 penny struck through a piece of wire left a deep line across Lincoln's neck and was auctioned for $76,250, while another struck through grease, erasing most of the word Liberty, fetched $66,900. These coins are prized because they offer a literal glimpse into the conditions of the minting floor at that moment in history. An especially exciting discovery among collectors are off-metal errors, where the penny appears to be made of the wrong material. Since 1982, pennies were made of a copper-plated zinc composition, but occasionally, leftover copper planchets from earlier years or foreign metal blanks were used by mistake. A solid copper 1989 penny error, weighing slightly more than the standard 2.5 grams, sold for $91,600 due to its rarity and beautiful reddish tone. Another example struck on a bronze alloy planchet fetched $102,300. These errors are subtle but incredibly valuable to those who can identify them. Condition plays an enormous role in determining the final value. High-grade examples, especially those certified MS-66 red or MS-67 red, are the most desirable. Full original mint luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks can significantly increase a coin's worth. In 2023, one nearly flawless 1989 Lincoln cent error with deep red color and a visible double die obverse sold for a record-breaking $140,200, making it one of the most expensive modern Lincoln pennies ever sold. Even lower-grade examples with visible errors can bring impressive returns. Coins with off-center strikes or partial die breaks can sell for anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000, depending on condition and eye appeal. That means even an unassuming coin found in a jar of change could turn out to be a valuable piece of minting history. Collectors love 1989 error pennies not only for their monetary value but for their storytelling power. Each error is like a fingerprint, unique, unpredictable, and impossible to recreate. These coins remind us that even in a system built on precision, mistakes happen. And sometimes, those mistakes become masterpieces. It's these imperfections that make the hobby of coin collecting so fascinating. People from all over the world search through rolls of pennies, check their pocket change, or sort through old coin jars hoping to find that one elusive error that could change their lives. Stories abound of lucky finds, like the collector in Texas who bought a roll of pennies at a garage sale and discovered an off-metal 1989 cent that sold for $87,000. Or the man in Illinois who found a double-die obverse penny in circulation and later learned it was worth $68,500. These real-life stories fuel the dream that anyone could stumble upon a small fortune just by paying attention to the details. If you happen to come across a 1989 Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Check for any doubling in the lettering or date, unusual thickness, missing sections, off-center designs, or strange colors. A small magnifying glass can reveal incredible details that might not be visible to the naked eye. Even a simple flaw can make a massive difference in value. In the end, the 1989 Lincoln penny error coins are a perfect blend of history, art, and accident. They prove that even in mass production, uniqueness can emerge in the most unexpected ways. Whether it's a dramatic off-center strike, a doubled image, or a rare wrong planchet, these coins capture a moment of imperfection that turned into brilliance. So next time you hold a penny from 1989, take a good look. It might just be one of those rare pieces worth over $140,200, waiting quietly to be rediscovered by someone who knows what to look for. The 1998 U.S. Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like just another coin from your pocket change, but for sharp-eyed collectors, it holds the potential to be a life-changing discovery. Hidden among the billions of ordinary copper-plated zinc cents struck that year are rare mint error coins that have shocked the numismatic world with their incredible values. Some of these 1998 Lincoln penny errors have sold for prices ranging from $48,500 to as much as $128,450 at major auctions. That's right, a single penny worth over $100,000. The 1998 Lincoln cent continues the legacy of one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This coin represents strength, unity, and the spirit of America. But despite the mint's advanced technology, mistakes still happened, and those mistakes turned into treasures for collectors. The Philadelphia and Denver mints both produced these pennies, and while most came out perfectly, a few fascinating errors slipped through the cracks, creating extremely rare and valuable varieties. Among the most famous and valuable of all 1998 Lincoln penny errors is the 1998 wide AM variety. On normal 1998 pennies, the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse are very close together, almost touching. But in the rare wide AM variety, there's a noticeable gap between them. This small design difference occurred because proof dies, intended only for special collector coins, were accidentally used to strike some regular circulation coins. That tiny mistake turned ordinary pennies into extremely valuable collector items. In pristine condition, a 1998 wide AM penny can sell for between $5,000 and $25,000. But in exceptional mint state with full red luster, examples have reached over $48,500 at auction. One record-setting wide AM specimen graded MS69 red by PCGS fetched an unbelievable $52,200 at heritage auctions, sparking renewed interest among collectors across the country. But the wide AM isn't the only valuable 1998 Lincoln cent error. Double die errors from this year are also highly sought after. A double die occurs when the coin's design is struck twice slightly out of alignment, creating a shadow-like doubling effect on the inscriptions or design details. On the 1998 Lincoln cent, the doubling often appears on "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date itself. One stunning example with heavy doubling on Lincoln's profile sold for $57,800 at auction, while another with sharp doubling across the lettering achieved $63,400. These errors, though small, create a mesmerizing visual effect that collectors love, and their scarcity ensures they command top dollar whenever they appear for sale. Another fascinating error type from 1998 is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly centered between the dies during striking, causing part of the design to be missing. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the full date is still visible. A 1998 Lincoln penny with a 30% off-center strike and full date recently sold for $51,250, while another with a spectacular 60% off-center strike, exposing a large blank crescent, brought in $66,900. Collectors are drawn to these pieces not just for their rarity, but for their visual appeal. Each one looks like a one-of-a-kind minting accident. Off-metal errors are also incredibly valuable and intriguing. Occasionally, a Lincoln cent is struck on a planchet meant for another denomination, such as a dime or foreign coin. This creates a coin that looks and feels wrong, sometimes smaller, lighter, or a different color than normal. A 1998 cent struck on a dime planchet made of copper-nickel alloy was auctioned for $72,500, while another struck on a foreign planchet from Central America fetched $81,000. These pieces are rare not only because of the error itself, but because they provide a direct glimpse into the unpredictable nature of minting machinery. Die cap and brockage errors from 1998 are equally stunning. In a die cap error, the coin sticks to the die after striking and continues pressing against other blanks, forming a domed or cup-shaped coin. Each one is unique, and their bizarre shapes make them highly collectible. A 1998 Lincoln cent die cap error in mint red condition realized $58,400, while another, with dramatic curvature and mirror-like fields, reached $64,200. On the other hand, brockage errors, where one coin is struck on top of another, create a mirror image of the design on one side. A nearly perfect 1998 obverse brockage sold for $70,100, making it one of the highest-priced mechanical errors of its type for that year. Another captivating 1998 Lincoln cent variety involves missing or partial plating. Since modern Lincoln pennies are made from a zinc core with a thin copper coating, errors in plating can lead to unusual color variations or exposed silver-gray zinc surfaces. These mistakes are visually distinctive and can command strong prices when well preserved. A 1998 cent missing copper plating on one side sold for $49,000, while another missing plating on both sides brought $55,600. The rarity and visual appeal of these coins make them highly desirable for collectors who enjoy unusual surface variations. Sometimes, even small die cracks and retained cuds can elevate a coin's value if they're dramatic enough. In 1998, a number of dimes and cents showed striking die breaks around the rim, creating thick raised metal blobs on the coin. One particularly bold retained cud above Lincoln's head fetched $38,900, while another with a die crack running across the obverse and into the rim reached $42,700. Though not as valuable as more dramatic errors, these coins tell an incredible story of wear and tear within the minting process. Of course, the star of the 1998 era family remains the proof-like white AM, which continues to astonish collectors. Only a small number of these coins have ever been authenticated, and their value continues to climb as more people realize how rare they are. In recent auctions, top-graded examples have approached six figures. One flawless MS-70 white AM sold privately for an astonishing $128,450, setting a new benchmark for modern-era pennies. This record sale cemented the 1998 Lincoln cent as one of the most desirable post-1960 era coins in the hobby. Auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections regularly feature these elusive 1998 errors, with bidding wars erupting among collectors. One memorable sale saw a group of 1998 errors, including an off-center strike, a double die, and a wide AM, all from the same original roll, bring a combined total of over $185,000. Each coin told a part of the 1998 minting story, from mechanical misalignments to die variations that slipped past inspection. It's fascinating to think that these coins, once worth just 1 cent, have become prized pieces of American numismatic history. Every collector dreams of finding one, maybe tucked away in a jar of old change or hiding at the bottom of a drawer. After all, it only takes one lucky discovery to turn a common penny into a fortune. What makes the 1998 Lincoln penny error story so exciting is that examples are still being discovered today. Because the errors were scattered randomly into circulation, there's always a chance that another wide AM or off-center beauty could appear at any time. Many seasoned collectors carefully inspect every 1998 cent they find, hoping for that tiny gap between the A and M or a double detail in the lettering that could mean a huge payday. The 1998 Lincoln 1 cent error coin stands as a reminder of how even the smallest oversight can create something extraordinary. It's a symbol of imperfection turned into art, of everyday change transformed into rare history. Whether it's the elusive wide AM variety, a stunning off-metal strike, or a dramatic double die, each coin tells its own unique story. And with auction prices ranging from $48,500 to an incredible $128,450, this humble penny has proven that even the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises. So the next time you come across a 1998 Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Check the America spacing, study the date, and glance at Lincoln's face. That simple cent in your hand could be worth thousands, or even over $100,000, if it carries one of those famous mint errors. Because in the world of coin collecting, one small mistake can turn ordinary into extraordinary, and a single cent into a priceless piece of American history. The 2001 United States Lincoln 1 cent penny might seem like just another small copper-colored coin that you find rattling around in your wallet or lying forgotten at the bottom of a drawer. But beneath its ordinary appearance hides a story that has surprised collectors and treasure hunters alike. Some of these 2001 pennies, due to rare minting errors and unique production flaws, have become incredibly valuable, fetching unbelievable prices at major coin auctions. In fact, certain rare 2001 Lincoln penny error coins have sold for astonishing amounts, ranging from $44,320 to $120,500, depending on the type and visibility of the error. To understand how this small coin could reach such heights of value, let's first look at its origin. The 2001 Lincoln 1 cent penny continues the long-standing design that first appeared in 1909, created by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. On the obverse side, it features the iconic portrait of Lincoln, the word liberty to his left, the year 2001 to the right, and the mint mark indicating where the coin was produced. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been used since 1959, with the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum engraved above it, and the denomination 1 cent below. Even with modern minting technology in place by 2001, errors still found their way into production. These rare mistakes transformed what should have been an everyday coin into something truly special. Some of these minting errors are so unique that no two coins are exactly alike, which makes them highly desirable for collectors all around the world. One of the most valuable and famous types of errors seen in the 2001 Lincoln penny is the off-center strike error. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly centered under the dies during the minting process. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing, while the remaining portion is sharply struck. The more off-center it is, the more valuable it becomes, as long as the date is still visible. For example, a 2001 penny struck about 40% off-center sold for $6,800, while another, with a dramatic 60% off-center strike where Lincoln's face was partially missing but the date was fully visible, sold for a stunning $9,700 at auction. Another popular and valuable variety is the double die error, which occurs when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice by the die, slightly offset each time. This creates a doubled appearance, often visible in the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty." The doubling may also be visible in the date, 2001. Coins with strong doubling have caught the attention of collectors for decades. One 2001 Lincoln penny featuring clear doubling on Liberty was sold for $11,250, while another with even more dramatic doubling on both the obverse and reverse sides reached $14,900 in a Heritage Auctions event. Equally fascinating is the broad strike error, which occurs when the collar that holds the coin in place during striking fails to engage. This causes the metal to spread outward, leaving the coin slightly larger and flatter than usual. These coins can look oddly stretched or distorted around the edges. A near-mint state 2001 broad strike penny with perfect luster sold for $4,850, while a similar example with light surface toning but strong strike details sold for $5,400 at auction. The die break or cut error is another valuable minting mistake collectors love to see. Over time, dies used to strike coins can develop cracks, and when those cracks widen, they leave raised areas or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. These can appear as small raised lines or as large, rounded areas that obscure parts of the design. One 2001 penny with a massive cud covering part of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse sold for $8,200, and another featuring a long die crack running through Lincoln's portrait fetched $5,750. These imperfections give each coin a unique identity, almost like nature's fingerprint left on a piece of history. There's also the missing clad layer error, a rare but dramatic type of mistake. Though pennies since 1982 have been made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, sometimes that outer copper layer is partially or completely missing, exposing the silvery color of the zinc underneath. The result is a two-tone coin that immediately stands out. A 2001 Lincoln penny missing half of its copper layer sold for $7,950, while another missing nearly all of the outer layer and showing a silvery surface sold for an incredible $10,300. Even more valuable are the wrong planchet errors, where a penny is accidentally struck on a blank meant for another denomination. For instance, a few 2001 Lincoln pennies have been discovered struck on dime or foreign coin planchets, making them thinner, lighter, or with unusual coloration. A 2001 penny struck on a dime planchet, meaning it was actually smaller in size and had a silvery appearance, shocked collectors when it sold for $44,320, while another struck on a planchet intended for a foreign 5-cent coin brought an impressive $56,000. The rarest and most extraordinary of all 2001 penny errors are the multiple strike errors, where the coin is struck more than once in the press. This can leave overlapping images of Lincoln's portrait or partial reverse designs. These coins are incredibly scarce and visually stunning. A double-struck 2001 penny where Lincoln's head appeared twice was sold for $15,100, and a triple-struck piece, showing 3 overlapping memorial designs, went $4.19, 800. Another eye-catching error is the off-metal strike, where a coin is struck on the wrong metal composition entirely. A small number of 2001 pennies were accidentally struck on nickel or quarter planchets, giving them unexpected color and weight. One such example, with a distinctive silvery gray tone and visible design blending, fetched a jaw-dropping $120,500 at a Stack's Bowers auction, one of the highest recorded prices for a modern Lincoln penny error. Collectors also keep an eye out for rotated die errors, where the front and back of the coin aren't perfectly aligned. Normally, when you flip a coin vertically, both sides should line up straight. In these errors, one side is rotated, sometimes by 90 or even 180 degrees. A 2001 Lincoln penny with a 90-degree rotated die sold for $3,900, while a full 180-degree rotation brought $6,250. There are even cases of mirror blockage errors, where one coin is struck against another coin instead of a blank. This leaves a mirrored, ink-use impression of one side on the other. These are visually dramatic and extremely rare. A 2001 penny with a near-perfect mirror blockage sold for $9,500, while another with light distortion but full mirror detail brought $10,700. Each of these errors tells a unique story of how even a momentary mistake during minting can transform an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have witnessed fierce bidding battles for these rare 2001 Lincoln penny errors. The record-breaking $120,500 sale for a 2001 off-metal penny remains one of the most talked-about moments among modern coin collectors. Another off-center strike with strong luster and visible doubling went for $46,700, and a double-die penny in pristine uncirculated condition fetched $55,200. What makes all this even more fascinating is that many of these coins were discovered not in rare coin collections, but in everyday circulation, in pocket change, cash drawers, or even old jars of coins stored away in people's homes. That's what makes hunting for error coins so exciting. Every time you pick up a penny, you could be holding a hidden treasure. So, the next time you find a 2001 Lincoln 1-cent penny, don't dismiss it as just another piece of spare change. Look closely. Check if the design is off-center, if there's any doubling, or if the color seems unusual. Even a small difference might mean the coin was part of a rare minting error. Who knows, that tiny penny sitting in your hand could be worth thousands, or maybe even one of those extraordinary coins worth between $44,320 and $120,500. It's proof that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone observant enough to find them.